Hi guys, it's Leah Busby at Blackfish Finance here with Denham. Morning, Trav.
Hey Leah, how are you? How are you, everybody?
Good, thank you. Now we are doing our first Zoom recording to give you guys all an update. So please bear with us because when it comes to IT, we are very good at real estate and finance. So we'll see how we go this morning. So as you can imagine, our worlds have been turned upside down like a lot of our clients' worlds, working in finance and property. So we thought we'd just cover off a range of things that Travis and I are talking to each other about, all of our clients about, banks about, and cover everything off really, aren't we, Trav?
Yep, absolutely, Leah, absolutely.
What should we start on? We've got a list this morning, which is very unlike us.
All right, well, why don't we just dive straight into sorry, I put my phone on silent. Let's dive straight into probably the biggest one that I'm being asked at the moment, which is just around how's the market. So how I see it is we are still selling plenty of properties in ridiculously quick times.
Yep.
I've had a couple which I spoke to you about before, Leah. I had property new release, 31 Davenport Terrace, Seaview Downs. They hit the market Friday morning. I've had 17 buyers through that house over the weekend, all one at a time, one-on-one through the home, not touching anything. It's been a little bit of a job, but we got it done. We're closing off offers on that one tonight at 5 p.m. because we've got 3 offers out. I reckon I'm probably going to have 6, 7, 8 offers by the end of the day. Now that shows me that if you've still got the right property marketed well for the right price, there's buyers out there. I'd also say, yes, we are getting the occasional cheeky low offer. We had a property that we did put under contract with 2 offers on it. It was about a month ago. Last week, unfortunately, purchaser who we went under contract with, their finance fell over because they lost their job. And there are plenty of people that are affected. We know that. Probably maybe 40, 50% of the buyers out there maybe aren't buyers at the moment, but they'll come back. Anyway, I went back to the underbidder or the second highest offer that missed out on the property. They missed it by $5,000 initially. They came back with a $25,000 less offer. So they tried it on. We still got the deal done with that buyer. We had to negotiate them up. The vendor, we dropped a little bit from the vendor's end, but we didn't end up $25,000 down. We ended up a little closer to where we expected. But generally, there's still plenty of buyers. There is definitely, and I'll stop talking and let you have a go in a minute, Leah. But I'm meeting people that are saying, should we hold off and see what happens? And look, it's totally an individual decision. But my thoughts are, while the market's still moving so well, and the uncertainty, I think, would only probably bring prices down over the next 12 months. I don't think the prices are going to be skyrocketing up. I think now's a great time to sell. So, yeah.
And I think there's a couple of things influencing that, Trav. I know in the news this morning they said that across the country they're predicting maybe a 10% drop in property values. That's what the Commonwealth Bank was saying. But we certainly don't see those peaks and troughs here in Adelaide, do we?
No. Our lows are not as low and our highs are not as high as the eastern states. I keep talking to my clients about what happened when the market peaked in 2010 after the GFC, the fallout from the GFC. It caught up with the Adelaide marketplace. We peaked as a real estate market in 2010, and then through 2011 and most of 2012, the market went backwards. Now, depending on the suburb, it went down between 3 and 10%. So you found the suburbs right up north or right down south went down by, like I'm talking about your old Dinga Beaches and Seaford Meadows and your Gawlers and Elizabeth and areas right on the outskirts. They went down by nearly 10%, but probably the majority of suburbs that I deal in dropped by 5 or 6% in those 18 months from 2010 through to 2012. That was the GFC. This is bigger. I think we are going to see a decline in property values, but it won't be, I don't think it'll get to 10%. It might, but I wouldn't imagine it'd get any further than that.
Yeah, sure. And we did have a cheeky client this morning going to go in on a house that's in mid-6s coming in at 585. So I said, look, have a go. And the only thing is the agent might come back to you saying you're cheeky and give us a real offer. So I guess I'll move on to now. You touched on it briefly with clients coming to open inspections, and that comes closely with valuations. So as a lot of our clients know, we have to get houses valued in most circumstances. I had an industry update on Friday from Heron Todd White, which is one of the biggest valuation companies across the country, and they're trying to move to a much more virtual inspection model to protect tenants, clients, their valuers, and they said they're really going to move to a system where, as you know, we can currently do online valuations, but they're going to support it by potentially Zooming or FaceTiming real estate agents, clients in their current houses, when the clients are going to have to show them home improvements, send them through photos. So it's a really interesting time. Have you come across that yet with any valuations from valuers not coming in?
Funny you say that. I haven't had it with valuations, sorry, but I've had it with, I had my first request for a virtual appraisal through our Magain website today. So I had the client email his details, I gave him a call. He's literally just now sent me, and I'll try and do this so you can...
The screen's glazing. I saw it for a split second. Oh yeah, there we go, yep.
So he's sent me all these photos and some video, right? And then with what I can see in the back end of, through CoreLogic or RP data, through the size of the home and the year it was built, and all of the photos that he sent me, I'll then prepare an appraisal report, email it through, and then we'll have a meeting like this evening. It's almost as good as being in the home with the vendor, but for clients that, and I still am getting people saying, I want you to come and physically stand in my house, and we're just being really safe with how we do that. So I'll walk through the home without them in it, then we'll sit at the outdoor table, a couple of metres apart. I'll take 2 copies of the reports, one for them to look at, one for me to look at, and yeah, that's how we're doing it. So I haven't seen it with the valuations, but I'm going to be doing one now myself. So yeah.
Yeah, we're certainly seeing a big change. I think probably the big thing for clients, if they are doing any virtual stuff, is just to really make sure they're pointing out the good part, not hiding any bad parts, but they're pointing out the good parts. Like we've got one happening this morning. A client's put in a new kitchen, they've painted, they've done some improvements outside. And I said, make sure you tell the valuer and you show them, because they cannot see that online. So I think that's probably a really critical thing. Right. Don't assume that the valuers and the agents know and can see everything based on their online searches, because they're often a little bit old. So that's probably something that we need to be mindful of. And so, Trav, if a client comes to you today and says, should I put my property on the market still now? What are you saying to them? Well,
yes, we've had 9 properties. I've sold 9 so far this month. And 6 of those 9 came on the market since the coronavirus outbreak. So they've all sold in good times. And I've never met a vendor that sells quickly for cheap.
Yeah.
Whenever you start selling quickly, it's generally because there's competition, and that's what, whenever we get a bigger price or a good price, what we expect or better, it's quickly. So now is a good time to sell. And to be honest, Leah, we're not doing open inspections where you're getting 25 groups. And this, when that happens, you've only got 1, 2 to 5 they're actually offering. People that are inquiring and making the private appointments, they're not tire kickers. So we are still getting through to those buyers, and we sold one to the buyers in our database last week, where we didn't even have to market the property. We already had the buyer on our database. So yeah, it's definitely still a good time to sell, in my opinion. And there's lots of buyers out there that aren't affected. So a big part of our pre-qualifying. So somebody rings me to see a property. There's a list of questions I'll ask them before we do. Do they have a budget that allows them to offer in the asking price range or the guide that we've given? Sure, you might have pre-approval. What do you do for work? How safe is it? And what is your actual job? Because there's lots of people that work for government. There's doctors, there's policemen, there's people that run supermarkets that I'm sure are going really well with their careers at the moment. So it's just understanding all of that and knowing that there's always people that need to trade up or trade down, like upsize or downsize or move areas. So life is still going on. We've just got these limitations with how we do it. But as an industry, I think the good operators, and I see a lot of the good operators out there, we've adapted, like you have, Leah, with the way you're doing business. So, yeah,
that's right. We're all doing Zoom meetings. Our paperwork's still flying through. Certainly from our perspective, we've seen last week a really big influx on clients wanting to sell and upgrade or renovate their houses. So I think people have been in lockdown for a few days now, and they're like, right, we were going to do this last year. We want to getting ready to sell. So they're booking in those appraisals, and running through numbers with us. So I think it's a very interesting time in the market. We saw a big spike of inquiries last week, which was really interesting. So that's clients going, right, we're finally going to spend that money on a reno or do our garden. My landscaper said he's had a big influx of people looking into it, possibly influenced by all of our other clients' garden photos. But it is really important to enjoy where you live and take some time to invest in where you're living, and investment properties as well. We're seeing clients still proceeding with their long-term plan. You know, property generally is a long-term plan, and we certainly see that with our clients. Just touching on you pre-qualifying people looking at the properties, we have seen clients obviously in financial stress, lost their jobs, lost their business, but we've got a lot of clients that aren't in that position. So I think that's a really good point. We've got lots of clients in lots of industries that have actually increased income and increased hours and all of that sort of stuff. We do, from a lending perspective now, have to address COVID-19. So we need to put notes in the system of how their job may or may not be affected. So there's some specific questions some lenders are asking, and it is just, no, their business isn't changing because X, Y, Z. The hours haven't changed. They're an industry that is needed, or they've already adapted and they're working from home. So there is a piece there. It's not something I think that we need to be worried about. We just need to be organised with our paperwork.
Yep.
All right, cool. So we've talked about valuations, putting on the market, good old coronavirus. Anything else that you think that we're both getting asked every single day that we should do quickly on this update?
That's probably, I think that's the main thing. I think the other thing I'd just say to all of our people that always watch, we appreciate your support. Leah and I will go back to our regular, like, we're going to do this once a week like we always did when we're standing next to one another. So we probably don't want to make this too long, do we not, Leah?
Yeah,
and maybe we'll,
that's fine.
And then we'll do this again each week.
Yeah, that's right. And we do love your feedback. It's always nice getting messages and text messages saying, oh, that was really interesting, and shares to your family and friends, and suggestions. So if there's something that you think is really interesting that we might not notice because we just do it all day, every day, let us know. We really appreciate that. So we hope everyone's surviving. They're surviving school holidays here in Adelaide and homeschooling and all that fun stuff. We've had no interruptions of kids running in the background here because we both locked ourselves in our actual buildings. But good to see you, Trav, even though we're not face to face. You have a good day, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thanks. See you, everyone.
See ya.